Hello students, my name is Poonam. Today we will start the chapter Electricity, chapter number 12 of class 10th. That chapter is related to physics, which is very important chapter and including numericals also. So in this video we will just cover the introduction of the chapter. So firstly what we will discuss that what is electricity. Electricity is a source of energy or form of energy which is used in our homes, industries, etc. Everywhere in our homes we are using electricity. In case of the industries also we are using electricity. So without electricity we cannot imagine our life now. Now what is the electricity? Electricity is also defined as the branch of physics which with study of charges. Means the branch of physics which deals in the study of charges is called electricity. We have two types of electricity, static electricity and the current electricity. The word static means rest. So when the charges are at rest, that is called static electricity. Current means current means motion. So when the charges are in motion, that is called current electricity. When we are studying about the electricity, we have to keep in mind that we are studying about the charges. Now what are charges? We will study it later on, but firstly we will discuss that these are the two types of electricity. We have the frictional electricity by rubbing. When we rub the two things, you have done the small experiments, or we can say small activities in class 7th, that when we rub a plastic scale with our hair and we will keep that plastic scale near the small pieces of paper, that pieces of paper will attract towards the scale. So that is due to friction, and that is because of the rubbing. When we rub two things, so this causes the static electricity. That means it is mainly in case of insulator we are using the plastic scale. We cannot use the iron scale, or we can say we cannot use the steel scale, because that steel scale or iron scale, it will help to move the charge, but because the plastic is an insulator, so insulator will not allow the charge to move. Now in case of the metallic wire, when the metallic wire is joined with the cell or a battery, then the current will flow through them, and this current is that can be flown in case of the conductors only, not in case of the insulators. So firstly we will discuss that what are the insulators and conductors. In the lower classes you have done that what is the conductor and what is the insulator. So the main definition of the conductor and insulator is, conductors are the substances that allow the charges to flow through them. Okay? And for example the metals like silver, copper, aluminium, these are the conductors. Along with the metals, there are some metal alloys also, like the nichrome, manganese and constantan. These three are mainly the alloys which act as the conductors, which allow the electricity to pass through them. This is the alloy nichrome with nickel and chromium. Manganese is the alloy of copper, magnesium and nickel, and the composition, in this composition mainly this copper is maximum around 80%. In case of the constantan, which is also called eureka, and it is the alloy of copper and nickel. These metal alloys have less conductivity than the pure metals, because these metal alloys, some mixture of the mainly two metals, or we can say one metal or one non-metal is there, so the conductivity will be reduced. Now in case of the insulators, Insulators are the substances that do not allow the charges to flow through them. For example, glass, ebonite, rubber, mostly the plastic, bakelite, PVC, these all are the examples of insulators. In case of the glass and ebonite rod, we have done in the lower classes that when we rub the glass rod or ebonite rod with our hair or the silk, then it attracts the woolen clothes or silk cloth mainly, and because it is due to the static electricity, they cannot allow the charges to move. All the conductors, they have loosely bound electrons, and these loosely bound electrons are free electrons. Because of these free electrons only, the conductors can allow the electricity. Without the free electrons, no substance can allow the electricity to flow through them. Now in this, till here we are using, we used to speak some words that are charges. Now what are the charges? Charge क्या होता है? Charge is the physical property. It is the property of the matter that causes it to experience a force when placed in an electromagnetic field. That means ये एक matter की property है. Due to this property only, when any charge, or we can say when any metal having charge, when it is placed in the electromagnetic field, then it experiences some force. We have two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge. The main property of the charge is the opposite charges. Opposite means the unlike charges, they attract each other. That means when positive charge come near the negative charge, then there will be attraction between them, or we can say when negative charge come near the positive charge, they attract towards each other. And the similar charges means the like charges. These like charges, they repel each other. That means when positive charge come near the positive charge, then there will be repulsion. When negative charge comes near the negative charge, then again there will be the repulsion. Now what is the SI unit? What is the unit of the charge? The SI unit of the charge is coulomb, and it is denoted by the letter capital C. What is the definition of this coulomb? That means 1 coulomb. 1 coulomb is the quantity of charge which exerts a force of 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton on an equal charge placed at a distance of 1 meter from it. That means when we have two charges, and these two charges are in equal in magnitude, means one positive and one positive, two positive or two positive, and the distance between these two charges is 1 meter. So this charge will exert 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton force on this charge. That is called the 1 coulomb charge. Or it can also be defined as the amount of charge from a current of 1 ampere flowing for 1 second. That means जब 1 ampere करंट फ्लो हो रहा है किसी भी कंडक्टर से थ्रू 1 सेकेंड, then it is called 1 coulomb of charge. Or it can also be defined as the charge on 6.241 into 10 raised to power 18 protons. That means इतने number of protons पर जो charge है, that is the 1 coulomb charge. The charge on 1 proton is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb, and the charge on 1 proton and 1 electron will be equal in magnitude, but it is of positive charge, and the charge on electron is the negative charge. The formula, or we can say the one of the basic property, is this charge is the integral multiple of the electrons. That means this Q is equal to NE. N means the number of electrons, and E means the charge on 1 electron, which is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. On the basis of this, we can calculate how many number of electrons constitute 1 coulomb of charge. Calculate the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge. So we have 1 coulomb. This Q is equal to 1 coulomb, and the charge on one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulomb. We have the formula that Q is equal to Ne, and we have to calculate the number of electrons. So N is equal to Q upon E. Q is 1 and the charge on one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19. So when we solve this, we will get 6.25 into 10 raised to power 18 electrons. That means these number of electrons constitute 1 coulomb of charge. That means 1 coulomb charge is very less quantity, and this number of electrons are very much which are constituting this 1 coulomb of charge. Same 6.241 into 10 raised to power 18 protons, or 6.245. That means this is approximately equal. So the number of protons constituting 1 coulomb of charge and the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge is equal. So this is the basic introduction of the chapter electricity. In the next video we will continue with the main topics.